So the Black Queens, the era of the Black Queens. Basically, coming out of slavery, black people had such poor self-esteem that it was necessary for our leaders like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to empower us psychologically. There was nothing wrong with us physically, but our minds were still on the plantation. We had low self-esteem. We had a lot of issues. And if you study that movement, Nation of Islam, Marcus Garvey, all these things, they were meant to empower black people psychologically. I think the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the greatest psychologist that ever existed. I am not a member of the Nation of Islam, but I've studied them as I've studied all of our great leaders of the past. But either way, it's because of that we gave rise to the Black Power movement in the 1960s and the self-love movement in the 70s and so on and so forth. But now here we are in 2020, and we're facing the fact that too much of a good thing is a bad thing. I saw today where it was a posting on Instagram where a young African-American woman basically ran over her child's father because they got in an argument. And if you really look at her, she acted as though she was the victim. She said, "I gave you 18 years," and all these different statements that she was making, basically purely statements that come from a person that feel like they can do no wrong, a person that feel like they're the victim, a person that feels like, you know, the people around them are meant to serve. So when I take all that into account, I have to look back at this black power, black love, you're all queens sort of movement. Whether even if you're a dope fiend mama, you're still a black queen. Even if you have committed some sort of heinous crime, you know, you're still, you know, the sacred cow in the black community. And that has, at this point, become a detriment to our success as a people. At some point, you have to throw away these old things that don't work anymore, these old mechanisms, these old tropes, these old societal I don't know, antidotes that are beginning to hinder you. You guys get back to work. Come on, get back to work. I don't want to hear it. Get back to work. I'm working, get back to work. All right, and so in a situation like that, go to something else, man. Come on. We have 40 minutes. Get to work. Excuse me, I'm out here training with my kids, making sure they are lifting weights. But back to what I was saying. So you have a lot of black women that have a misconception of who they are and what their boundaries should be. And it's beginning to hurt us. The prisons are now filling up with black women, where it was for maybe the past 30 or 40 years, you had a lot of black men who were filling up the prison, black and brown men. But now the prisons are being filled up with black women. First of all, they're committing more crimes. Second of all, the judicial system and the lawyers and the judges and the people who run those prisons recognize that women make better prisoners than men. And the other thing is, women are becoming more violent, you know, and that's something that comes along with being masculinized. Masculinity is not something that is solely attributable to maleness. Masculinity is something that comes along as a result of how you are socialized. So just like you can socialize a male to be effeminate, you can socialize a male to be masculine. Same thing for women. You can socialize a woman to be feminine. You can socialize her to be masculine. So here in the black community, because we've given black women so much freedom and we've eviscerated any responsibility that they've been forced to, all the way down, Roman. All the way down, Roman. Down more. Come on. There you go. Not that far. We've eviscerated the requirements that are imposed on other human beings. So, in fact, they think they're queens. They literally think they're queens, and it's becoming a detriment. It's destroying them. You know, if we had less black queens and more human beings in the black community, we'd have less black women on depression, anti-depression pills. We'd have less black women with undiagnosed mental illnesses because, see, along with that queen status comes certain expectations. And those expectations will drive you crazy. It's the same thing happening in the white community to these white men. They lose a few dollars, they go crazy. They lose their job, they commit suicide. Their wife leaves them, they commit suicide because they're expected to produce, and it puts an unnecessary amount of pressure on them. So now you have black women who are told that they're queens. We run the black community, we're the backbone of the black community. You're putting all this pressure on yourself, and now what's happening? It's starting to show. You got a lot of black women who are breaking down, who are cracking up. It's just, so what I'm suggesting to you ladies is let's end the era of the black queens. Let's do away with the era of the black queens, and you can just come on back to being regular human beings. Life is a lot simpler that way. You don't have to be Miss Superwoman. You don't have to be, the expectations that you put on yourself. You're living in squalor, but you're calling yourself a queen. How does your brain match that? You living in squalor, you living in perhaps control that weight, up, down, 1,000, hold it, 1,000, down, 1,000, down. You see what I'm saying? Control that weight. What does that do to your brain? On one hand, you're telling yourself you're this imperial goddess, of the universe, and yet you're living with your mother with 3 or 4 kids, and you can barely afford to pay your bills. You can barely afford to pay your cell phone bill. Why don't you just accept yourself as being a human being and come on back down here with us regular folks, and then once you realize where you are, then you can start working on progressing from that situation. I think that, get down, you. Move from over there. You move from over there. Come here. Come over here. Go back over there and do 10 squats.
Okay.
Hurry up. Get. A little 10 squats. Go.
1, 2.
Anyway.
3.
It's hard, ladies. It's hard. You're putting unnecessary pressure on yourselves. You're killing yourselves, and you're making it impossible for men because of your expectations. You're making it. You have now unreasonable expectations for these men. You want each one of these men to be kings, right? And what is a king? The king has land and a chariot of Rolls Royces and a golden palace on a cloud. It's impossible. So you're just forever disappointed. Because you're a queen. Somebody's told you that you're a queen and you can do no wrong. So you're going to be disappointed. Huh? Do 10 push-ups. Get.
Okay.
Hurry up. Wasting daddy's time. Get it.
1.
And so you're doing yourself a disservice by living in that fictitious world. Stop listening to these men who lie to you on the internet and tell you that you're perfect the way you are. Stop listening to them and tell you that you're a queen and you're a goddess and you can do no wrong. They're lying to you, and these lies are destroying you. Now, I know you may not like some of the things that maybe I say or other gentlemen on the internet say, and I don't put myself in that category. I'm talking to you from a place of love. I'm speaking to you as though I'm your father or your Uncle D, or somebody that really cares about you and wants to see you succeed. The last thing I want is for people that look like me who are from, hey, leave that alone. You want to do some more push-ups? You want to do bear crawls? Well, get back over there and sit down.
Okay.
Get. Hurry up. Last thing I want is for people that look like me, who come from where I come from, who have a similar background as me, to just spiral off into oblivion, no longer exist, go the way of the Incas and the Mayans. I don't want that for black American people. We have such a, what? I'm daddy's working. What you want, man?
I'm getting thirsty.
Can you get this dude some water? 'Cause I'm working, man. I'm working. Anyway, like I said, get out of here.
Okay.
I ain't smiling at you. Get out of here. Get. Anyway, I want to see you succeed. I want to see us move forward into the next millennium. I want my sons to be surrounded by other strong black men and women that look like them, who are well-balanced, honest, hardworking people. That's what I want, okay? But, if we got one coin and one side of this coin is thinking they better than the other side of the coin, then that coin ain't gonna spin. You see? It's like having a bird. You got one bird wing that's flapping and the other bird wing is just not on the same page. You know, we're going to have to come together as hard work. We're going to have to be honest, okay, about our predicament. I'm successful, I guess, right? According to what success is, the metric for success. But I'm not really successful unless all my people around me that look like me are successful, because of the category that I'm in as a Black American man. You know, and I want to see everybody be successful that wants to be successful, but we're not on the same page. So we need to end this era of queens, and we need to end this era of kings too. You know, I can get on that too. Like, bro, you're not a king, you just got out of the penitentiary. You know, it's one thing to say I'm saying it to make myself feel good about myself, but you have no job, no education. You got to cut that out, man. You got to recognize I'm just a man and I'm working hard and I'm trying to get to where I want to get, but I'm not a king. You don't own any land. You don't have any empire. You don't have a kingdom. You're not a king. So stop calling yourself that. Stop lying to yourself. It's not working. That era is over. Ain't no kings and queens. We're just human beings on this planet. We're just children of God trying to make it, trying to get what's ours in this land, and we need to work together. Now, some of you may not like my position, and I know it definitely, Daddy's working. Okay, leave the bug alone. Get back over there. Go over there. Do something with him. Anyway, but we need to get on the same page, whatever page that is. Now, at some point, maybe we will be queens and kings, you know. But even then, kings and queens have problems too. You're responsible for all the people, as opposed to just yourself and your children. So there's some benefits and drawbacks to that too. If it makes you feel good to call yourself a king, awesome, wonderful, fantastic. Okay, but if that's the case, then you need to begin to start to own something and rule something and control something, control some land, control some communities, control some neighborhoods. These are the things that will make you not necessarily a king, but definitely a boss, you see? And then, but when you're the boss, that means you're in charge of people. You're in charge of people's lives. You're in charge of people's well-being. You're responsible for them, their health insurance, their paychecks. That's a lot of stress associated with that. You know, we can't get to be kings and queens and bosses or whatever until we get ourselves together, folks. And we're not on the same page. So ladies, look, let's end this queen. No, baby, you're not a queen. You're just a human being. You're a child of God, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the most honorable thing you can be. Same thing for you brothers. You're not kings. You're just mortals, human beings. All right? I love you. This is Uncle D, man. I'm out. God bless you.